it's bringing on drivers and encourage drivers to do more account work, which in turn will generate more revenue to match your KPIs. Got quite a few of your companies now utilising probably 90% of our products. Justin at ADT being one of the main protagonists in this, he sort of tries everything and gives me really good feedback. We've got a lot of time for Justin. So what he's gracefully done today is allowed me, because you're all in one group, to use his data to show you what we can do rather than use fake data and my test bench, if that makes sense. So I can show you a few videos about what we do and where we are. And then Justin's going to help me to show you how utilising our products will help you guys in your accounts teams, in your driver onboarding teams, and in your day-to-day providing new things for customers. So I will share up my screen first of all. We'll do that one. And you should be able to just see my Google Chrome screen. You see that, yeah?
Nope.
Not yet. Let's have a look. Click it again. And let me do the whole desktop there. Yeah, that one. That working now?
Yeah.
That's better. Let's just move this thing out of the way. Okay, right. First things first, I've got a little folder up here that I've got ready for you guys today. So there's a few little bits and bats in here. We just recently managed to get our product inside the left-hand menu in Driver Companion. It's available for both iOS and for Android. There is absolute parity on it. It works for both devices. And I don't know if any of you guys have already got our old QR app. And what that used to allow you to do is pay out to drivers in an app where they could save up and have their own bank details and take out money when they wanted. That requirement to download that app has now gone. It's literally available straight inside the Driver Companion. So if I show you this quick video, this video will show you where drivers can, within the Driver Companion, just go into the left-hand menu, click on the LYNK PAY logo that's in there, and then go to the wallet at the bottom right-hand side and add banks. You can add as many banks as they wish. What this does is it allows drivers to sort of save up. It's like a virtual card. And then at any point, they can then go in and take that money when they want it. We find that some drivers that are really good with their finances will save up and then take it at the end of the month to maybe pay the mortgage or do whatever. But we also find that drivers that struggle a little bit will take money sometimes daily. Obviously, you know, nothing bad about that. The business of taxi is moving so fast towards accounts now that we often find drivers refusing account work because they don't have any money for fuel. So what this does is allows you guys, if you approve and post daily and you've got the cash flow, you can actually pay drivers on a daily, weekly, bi-daily, tri-daily. You can do, you know, as long as you approve and post, if a driver's in credit, you can actually start to pay them daily. We see a massive increase in account work in companies that do utilize this. The simple reason is if a driver can get paid within 2 to 3 days for their account work, they will not refuse that account work. Okay, so that's in the left-hand menu now, and that's ready to go. And then what they do when that money's in there, I'll just open this next video. We've got the cash out video. So this one is what they do when they go to cash out. So effectively, just going into the left-hand menu again, but instead of going all the way into LYNK PAY, they just hit on the driver sheets button. It will tell them when they press LYNK PAY, then their balance. They can then go and cash out, and they can select from that list of banks. They can edit the amount that they need. There is a fee for that. As a group, you have a standard fee. I would obviously speak to David or anybody, see if you wanted to change those fees. These fees are charged to the driver currently with you guys because we're offering them a premium service. They would pay for that. We do kick money back to take me for that as well. So this is a revenue stream for you as well. There's a list of transactions where the drivers can go and click in and see who they've paid and to what. Okay, so it's all the transactions are shown. I'll show you on Justin's site here. So all the transactions that we do. So these are in-car transactions, but these are the app outs for Justin.
Yeah,
For
unfortunately, nobody's used it.
right, okay, we haven't got that one set up on you then yet. Yeah,
No, that's going live start of August.
start of August. Right, okay. So if I just show you, who have we got? We've got Westside. Do that. I can show you that information from there. So obviously within your group again, app out. So you've got this week 114 drivers. Westside paid out. Say again, sorry. Oh, sorry, I heard somebody. So Westside have done these payments out to drivers. They've gone to the app.
You've muted yourself, Andy.
Unmute. I don't know how that happened. Is that better? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
No, right. Okay. This app out at Westside is the drivers being told that they've got money available. The money doesn't move anywhere. It goes into a pot. So 114 drivers this week have been told that they've got money, and 110 of those drivers have taken that money, and 4 have left it in. Okay. Where that money sits is in these balance pots. So in the app pot, Westside have got nearly £20,000 worth of drivers' money sat waiting for them. You guys can see instantly which drivers are saving the money by going to the app tab and then users. And if you just click on balance, you can see what drivers are saving up. Yeah. So it's a very powerful piece of kit. It really does show you which drivers are really good and which drivers are struggling. And you can use it as a bit of a tool to sort of help people as well, because you can see that people are struggling. You might want to pay them more regularly to encourage them to do more account work. So that's in there. I'll jump back onto Justin's site for now. ADT. The other thing about this is we do have, I know that you guys have got payment machines in cars, and I know you've got all these other things, but this also comes with an option for pay at end. Why has that gone really small? Can you see that? It's just gone really small for some reason. Let's make it really big. So what happens with this is frustrating me today on Zoom. It's doing silly things. 1 second. Do it again. That's better. There we go. At the end of the journey, you have the option to press the card button inside Driver Companion. That'll generate either a QR code where the passenger can scan it, it'll send an SMS, or you can actually, driver can enter a completely different mobile number. So we've all had it where there's someone stuck in the car, they can't make the payment, their payment's not available, their cards, they can actually get a significant other to receive the SMS and pay, and then the driver will be told. You can see that this stage is turned to authorization. Then once it's paid, it'll come through as payment complete, and then the driver can just go back and clear this job down. That's payment complete. Please click the arrow to go back. That's done. I'm not expecting you guys to use this a million. You'll have other things in cars, but this is like a fail-safe if a driver's forgot to charge his stomach device or it won't connect or something's not happening. This is always there as a backup. Now, as well as this, there is an extra backup inside the left-hand menu as well, which is purely just this QR. So if they are out of a job, so they're not in a job, they're in the middle of town somewhere and they're going out of town, they can actually take a payment up front, or they can take a payment after the journey as well by going into the LYNK PAY menu and just generating a QR from there. This goes in as a credit against them for the week. There will not be a job attached, but if you do charge commissions, you will get your commission on that as well. So the passenger just scans this and pays using Apple Pay, Google Pay, or card. These are fail-safes more than anything. Again, you'll get told that it's authorizing and then it gets done. So with all this now being embedded inside the Driver Companion, this is available to every single one of your drivers today. We just flip one switch and switch it on. Obviously, you can see all the transactions are done and the drivers can do that. So we've had 4,800, just above 4,800 drivers start to use this left-hand menu across our sort of 25,000 drivers that we do in the last 5 weeks. This is being taken up by lots of companies now. I would recommend, to help you guys attract drivers and to keep drivers, this is a brilliant piece of kit for them to save up and take money whenever they need, especially drivers that are struggling. You
Can I ask
can,
you a
if you
question?
can. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, just a quick one. That credit one that you just showed,
Uh-huh.
is there, do they have to put the money in, the amount in, or is it automatic?
So it pops up the amount.
Okay,
So it pops the amount up, and then they can change it if they need to.
that's fine. Because sometimes our drivers may insert the wrong amount, and if they need a refund a certain amount, I was just seeing if that's possible to just do a partial refund instead of the full refund.
Yeah. So we offer on our prepaid service. So I'll show you here inside Justin's site. So all of our payment stuff works exactly the same way, and you can go in and do what you need to do. So Justin's, I'm going to show you this prepaid in a second, but I'll show you how we give you the option to literally look at everything. So this is a transaction that's been done on Justin's site. It's booked in for the 14th at 8:56 from Blackpool Road. It's probably a school run, but come back. You can literally go in here and proceed to do either a partial. You can change that if you wish, or a free run. Just hit proceed and send that.
Excellent.
On every single refund that we do, we send an SMS to the mobile number that booked.
Right,
So
that's
they'll
good.
get a notification, and it does say within 3 to 5 days you'll get your refund. But if it's digital, if it's Starling or Monzo, it is often in there before you've come off this screen.
Okay.
It's literally open banking. It's seconds. If it's traditional, like your Barclays or your NatWest, it can take 3 to 5 days on weekends, but we do let the customers know. We just cancel that. It won't let me do it anyway. I don't have access to do it. But
Cool.
yeah, so with regards to all the other stuff in the left-hand menu, I don't know if you...
Just got a quick
Yeah,
question,
go on.
please, just
Go on.
before we move forward. So, yeah, I say if the drivers are requesting money every 2 or 3 days or on a daily,
Yeah,
do they just automatically work with LYNK PAY, or do we, as managers, have to authorize that payment?
so they don't request money. So what we do is, because you have to have the money in your pot for them to be able to take it, what you would do is you would approve and post as you go along during the week, sync your balances, and then press one button. It takes about 5 minutes of your day. And what it does is it just notifies everybody that they've got money available, and then they take it when they want it. It's up to you guys how much money you put in the pot. They can't just take money, because if at any point they come in and the money's not available, then it don't look good. You know, it looks bad for you guys. Your driver's going, I want money, I want money. When you approve and post during the week before you process, we then look at the current balance against the driver. If next week's recurring debt has been covered and he's now in credit or she's now in credit, they can take that money if you tell them it's available. So they can't just willy-nilly come in and nab it. But once the money's in the pot, they can then take as much as they want whenever they want.
Okay, as long as we approve and post, yeah?
Yeah. If you're not approving post and then you don't then tell them it's there, they can't take it. You know what? It would be a bit nuts if they could just come in, because you're then having to say, well, how much money do I need in my pot at any one time? And so we tidied all this up. Effectively, looking inside West Side, I'll show you, because they're using this fully down at West Side, and we'll jump back to Justin's stuff. So what we do is we give everybody a bank account called a pre-settlement account. You get your full account done. Once you sync balances, approve post process, sync balances, you would then drop the amount required into this pot. And it's a pot. Each taxi company has their own pot. It's guaranteed up to 107% by modular. So not like any other bank where you're guaranteed up to 85k. Whatever you have in here is guaranteed up to 107%. So rev share, so pre-settlement is where your money is. You would then send that out to drivers. Once that goes out to drivers, it goes to this pot, and then that sits there. You guys do not have access to this pot unless you send me a very, very, very secure email saying, hi, Andy, it's another person from another taxi company. This driver has left us. He now has no access to the app, and I need to send him this money in another way. I can then return that money back to your pre-settlement, because technically it's not yours anymore. It's also not mine. This is now the driver's money. We keep this pot safe so that a driver can at any time go in and take this money. We're not an investment bank. We're just a holding bank where we hold money and pay bills for people. That's what we do. The rev share is where you guys actually make money from us. So we have little ways where you can charge drivers extra bits and they take money. The Twilio pot is a little thing that we do to guarantee that your prepaid SMS go out. We use the digital SMS. You can top that up and use that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just go back to here and show you this prepaid. So in Ghost, when you're taking a booking, I would imagine that's quite a lot of you guys, if you're on AutoCab, are using the Judo Pay F10 feature. We've built something that we believe is a lot more secure, works a lot better, and gives you guys a lot more information. It's probably doing most of your card work now, Justin, for people that are ringing in. Yeah. Effectively, all you do in AutoCab when you put in a booking in is in the capability section on the job, you just put a $sign on that booking. It then sends an SMS to the customer. They can pay for the journey. If we look in here for this month, for Justin's site, anything that says paid is paid for but not ready to go out yet. So if we change the dispatch due on this, you can see on paid, there's a job here for the 4th of August that's already been paid for. The name and the driver ref, we don't know yet. But if we go and view it, we can see that it's a Birmingham Airport coming to here. We know when it was booked. We've got the transaction ID, the payment reference. At any point, if that job gets cancelled prior to dispatch, we will do an automatic refund to the customer for you. That will save you from chargebacks. If it gets cancelled after dispatch, we will flag that up and tell you to go and check to see if you do still need to pay the driver or refund the money to the customer. If you book a return booking in Ghost with this, we send 2 completely separate SMSs, one for the outward and one for the inward. I do know that Judo sends one for both of those, and then you've got to go in and adjust and move it all about. We actually do both. All traceable, all trackable, all exportable as for your guys' KPIs. You can search for just completed bookings just by clicking that. You can search for bookings that weren't completed and then maybe go in and have a look, you know, what's going on here. We give you every opportunity to look at every job, and at any point you can still refund if somebody speaks to you. Okay, it's a very, very simple piece of kit, but it works really, really well. We launched this in April, and it's moving well over 350 grand a month now as a new product. We do recommend, if you're going to jump on this, I shouldn't say this, but we do recommend to switch Judo F10 off. And customers that have done that and used this have seen a massive, massive increase for this. So these products are available to all of you that are already utilizing LYNK Pay and or on a server that needs that. They're fully tested. They've been out for months and months and months. And I'll just another test of this. Very rare that we speak. It's usually hi Justin, how are you getting on? You know, very rare. The stuff works. It saves you a lot of time. It cuts out what I call the manual, the menial tasks of what's actually going on in the taxi office, and allows you to get on with the day-to-day stuff of actually dealing with proper things. And I know that sounds really silly for me to say. I've been in taxis all my life. I've run offices, I've run accounts departments, I've been a driver. And this just allows you to deal better with complaints, getting new accounts on board, dealing with drivers that, you know, need to be dealt with. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. If you don't know about the dispersal that we do, is there anybody that hasn't seen the dispersal where we actually do the payouts to drivers and how we sync everything and do it?
I haven't seen it.
Right, okay. So what we do is I'll show you in AutoCab. Well, you know about the approve and post in AutoCab, don't you? How you do your processing. Okay, once you process, what we do is I'm going to jump on my test bench here now and do it this way. I'm not affecting anybody's things. So it looks really colourful, but it's colourful for a reason. Anyone that's in green has used the side menu or the app. Anyone that's in red is in depth. Anyone that's in blue is obviously negated. There's no issue. What we do is we go in after you've processed, we go and hit sync balances and confirm. We allow you to do on all three. I won't go into that. It's not complicated, but it's boring. We can sort that per customer. This has gone to your AutoCAD account server now and said, give me all the balances for all the drivers after processed. Depending on the size of your site, it can take a minute. I've not seen it do more than a minute, but I've very rarely seen it do more than a minute. Now, what happens from here is you will then go in, and anyone that needs to be paid, you just click pay. You can make a selection, and then you can go in and tick, tick, tick. These are the three that need paying. You can see it's adjusted the amount. I can go back to drivers, and if you're confident that everything's fine, you can just click all, and it'll then go and pay all, and you just press yes. And that literally is your driver's paid. What it then does is it goes into AutoCAD and does all the reconciliation for you, all the way down to zero. You don't need to do anything else. If I go to the transactions now for the app out, you can see completed, 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 completed. They've all been paid already. Completed means that it's also told AutoCAD and you're done. You literally, if you've got 300 drivers on your system and 170 need paying, you put the money in here, press pay and just leave it. It's just done. It just does it for you. You don't have to do anything. That's that side of it. The other side of it, when you do drivers, you can also request from the drivers as well. So you do another sync and then request all the money in. That sends SMS or email. But there's also the option in the left-hand menu for drivers to go in and just select to pay their rent as well. So there's three different ways for drivers to pay you. We also have this piece of kit for naughty drivers. So you can change this yourself. You can say on Wednesday at 15:30, anybody that owes me more than £15, lock them out. I know that not everyone's ruthless and not everyone will use that, but that is a beautiful piece of kit. If the driver pays, once they're locked out, they're instantly switched back on by our system. It takes out all that phone call. I need to come in and pay you. I've been locked off. Can you put me back on? I'll tell you what, yeah, I can put you back on, but what I will do is this. I'll edit Lee here and I'll give him a grace and say, look, I know it's Wednesday at 3:30. I'll change you until 4:30 and come in and pay. It will then kick him off after an hour. Because of the digital things now, what you would be saying to the driver is, just pay now. You're not, if you haven't got it now, you're not going to have it in an hour. Just pay digitally, go into the driver companion, click on the pay your rent. Yeah, cool. All good. Okay, so that is pretty much it in a nutshell. Obviously, 1 second, my dog's decided to start running in a dream. Wake up, big lad. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do. There is a lot more to it, but these are all the new things that people utilize. David's got my number. If any of you need to call me, you want to go through this personally, I can show you a lot more details. What I did want to do is just get Justin, you know, if you wanted to say a few words about how it's helped you, Justin, you know, I'd be very grateful because, you know, we do get on very well.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. So for us, it's cut about 2 hours out of the week just in processing the driver payments. And that was time we would spend sitting in the bank, going driver by driver, putting in the amount, checking it, pay the driver, go to the next driver. So that's all gone. This has also helped a lot with the driver payments in. I mean, we started the lockout before we went to LYNK PAY, but this has just continued it. Having drivers not able to log on when they want to work is a very big incentive for them to actually pay. And we found that early on. As I say, start of August, we're going to move to letting them manage their own bank details. We're still doing it at the minute, so we're not using the app out. But obviously that will change. And I think that will take away probably about half an hour a week in just changing some of these bank details or checking that they're the correct ones because they said they haven't received it, but they actually haven't checked their bank yet because they're idiots. Another big thing from this for us is, Andy, can you go to reports.
Yeah.
And if you set the date range from the 19th of last month to today, because 19th was when we started on this. Since that date, card processing has only cost us £8.04 out of 296 transactions. Whereas on Judo, that would be, Kinga might need to help me out here, £1,000 more. So
Probably
by,
not 1,000, but 200.
yeah,
Yeah, about 200.
so it saved us that much, and we're not the biggest of card users. As you can see, since the 19th of last month, we put just under £9,000 through it. So that's a big thing for us here, is getting those card fees down. And we are actually in slight credit in rev share. We've got £1.74 in rev share. So
It's better than nothing.
yeah, so that then comes off the £8.04. So we're actually better off than that out of all the transactions that we've done. That
I'll
is,
show you from here. So how that works is, because you are the taxi provider, we are the payment provider, and never the twain shall meet. We are allowed to do sliding surcharges and apply that price to your passenger. And then what we do is we take our bit, we cover the Stripe bit, and whatever's left over, we actually give it back to you. So that's how you make your profit. So most of my customers will do up to £15.50, and then from £15 upwards, a 3% charge. So on a £100 journey, it's the £3 charge. I've had one email off a passenger in the last 3 months saying, why are you charging for card payments? And my reply, which was given to us by Stripe initially, was, we're not charging you for a card payment, we're charging you for our services to provide that payment. And we would still charge you that if we accepted cash. And it's fully legal the way that we do it, because we are a separate entity to you guys and we are a bank. We can do that, very similar to HMRC when they charge you for using a card. So it is legal, it's fully legal, and this is how we get these costs back for you guys. There's one company that I could show you, but I won't do for GDPR compliances. They move about £90,000 a month through this, and their last bill from us was 64 quid.
What's the process if the customer says to the bank, I didn't do that, it wasn't me, somebody must have used my card details?
Yeah, so there's 3D Secure. Every single payment that we do now is 3D Secure or 3D Frictionless or Apple or Google. They cannot say that it wasn't them because of the details, but what they can do, and it's rare, is they can say, I did not receive the product or the service I was promised. That comes to my desk. And then I will look up the transaction. I will then ring whoever's in charge of that at your place and say, get me the details for this job. Was it picked up? Was it dropped off on time? Yes or no? And I manage that. Yeah. Out of all of the transactions we've ever, in fact, let's play a game. A very quick game. Let's just go to Stripe, and I can show you how if it loads up. Come on, Stripe. I can show you our numbers. So we jump off test mode once it loads.
Whilst this is loading, can you link this to the passenger app, or is it just for the driver?
Not yet. We can't know. We're desperately pestering Safa. We would love to be able to do that, but I do think that Autocab now they've seen what we do. I'm pretty convinced that they're going to be doing this Stripe stuff themselves.
Right.
They'd be mental not to. You know, the problem that we've got is if we end up inside the passenger app, then we cannot then allow you to do surcharges. Yeah. Because that's the thing. You can't save the money when it's in the passenger app, because the passenger app belongs to you, and then the payment belongs to you as well, and then it's illegal to do so. Right. So if I just go to payments and go on to disputes, I don't want to show you too much here, but there are a couple here. There's 4. Okay. Now you can see product not received, product unacceptable, duplicate, product unacceptable. That's it. Now, in all the time we've been doing this, we've had about 9, and that's it. There's some reports here that we can now show you in payment authentication. If it lets me in, it should do. So these are our just over the last 4 weeks, or over the last 3 months, 37,000 attempts at 3D Secure, completed 36, 3D Secure completion rate 97.1. So, you know, we're very, very, very keen on what we do. We do not allow passengers to have a second go if they've been declined. And I think that's very important. I think a lot of people don't understand that every time a passenger tries to pay and fails, it costs you 8 pence. I don't know if Judo tell you that, but that's a banking real charge that you will be getting charged. So we do have the option to allow customers to allow passengers to try more than once. We don't recommend it. If your card fails, it's failed, you know, seek an alternate way to pay. We don't get any grief from it. But yeah, there you go. A lot of stuff that I'm really keen on this stuff, man. I don't want to show you too much of this because there might be somebody else's details in there, but I'm extremely keen on keeping our strike rate where they are and make sure that I maintain and manage any chargebacks that you guys would get. Yeah, they only come if you've took a prepaid booking and then you're an hour late and they don't get the taxi. But then we recommend that you refund straight away to avoid the chargeback. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Anyone else got any questions? Success.
Silence is golden.
Success.
I'm really impressed with those card charges there, Andy, that you and Justin were just highlighting.
Yeah, it's. I wish I could show you some other customers, David. That you know, Justin's just new to this, the prepaid stuff. He's only had it for a little while, and once. Let me just show you all something that I found that's really, really cool that we've set up that I'm going to do with Justin. So you guys inside AutoCAD will have address group set up somewhere. If you don't have, I'll be surprised. I've just got one set up here that's called airports. And in there, I've got 4 airports. What you do when you've done these groups is you come in, discard the changes. You then come into the booking and go into booking tags. And you pick that up and you drop a $ on it, okay? And you say to it, from pickup from via to destination, any operator that makes that booking and any of those addresses line up, it will automatically add $1 for you. So you're not relying on your staff then to take money for a prepaid journey to secure that money for you. We've put an API in here that does this. So any of those bookings that are out of town, any of those bookings that might be risky, out of area, whatever, we will automatically apply that $ for you and send the message to the passenger saying, you can prepay this journey. Obviously, they don't need to. We've got other settings in there that will hold that journey. If a $sign's been put on it and it has not been paid, we will hold it on your dispatch screen for your dispatch staff to look at it and think, maybe I need to chase this customer for this payment, and then they can let it go. It's very, very simple to use. The complications all in the back end. We do all the setup for you, we do all the work, and then I would work with you to set up these address tag groups. But once these are up and running, these payments go through the roof. I've got companies doing £25,000 a week through this now, and it's not costing them any money.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Apologies. So you put this capability in there, it sends a code to the customer, and then the customer pays on the link. Then how does the job look?
Well, basically, the job comes into AutoCAD then as an account job. So we attach an account called LYNK PAY prepaid.
Okay.
So if I just go into here, I go to dashboard and go to booking and dispatch.
Can you set a rule that certain jobs or zones would have to be prepaid and have to use that?
Yeah, you can do it so that it always sends it, but we've got no control over the API that says it has to be done at the minute, if that makes sense. I have been working closely with Neil Savage and Liam Vassier on a couple of other things for this. So one thing that I have requested in the if not this, do that section for the APIs that you attach is if a job has a value greater than X, then bring extra rules in. And there isn't one in there at the minute. But if I just go into here now and just make a quick booking for going to Manchester Airport, Money, you see that it's automatically put the $sign on there. Yeah. If I change the details to, let's just change this to 12 o'clock, then you can see it. You have to put a phone number on. Or we also accept email on here as well. It'll send an email for you, any passengers that don't have a UK mobile or you think it won't go, and just book that there. Yeah, it's fine. Just continue on that. And then that booking, if we go to global search, it will be sat in there. Let's search for today. So you can see what we've done is we've highlighted it in our lovely LYNK Pay light blue and put a $sign on it. Once that gets paid, the account code then changes to LYNK Pay prepaid. So the operator knows that it's paid. They've no need to have access to our portal. We would still keep the portal secure with your accounts team.
Wow, that's amazing.
So when you draw down the accounts then for the accountant, our accountant will automatically think that VAT is going to be paid on everything. So he can just get it all done in one. Will that then affect that? Will he have to change his process?
He would have to exclude that invoice, or
Okay.
you don't process the invoice for that account, but we would. So you know
Right.
how much has gone through LYNK Pay. Yeah, he would just have to exclude that invoice. Like we've got a driver's account, a cash prepaid account. They all have to be excluded before you do the VAT stuff.
Okay. Right.
I'm not completely convinced on something that we're trying to do at the minute. I'm 99% there. We might have a way around this VAT thing for everybody. I don't want to say too much at the minute. I'll probably have a private conversation with David on this, but because we are technically able to hold money for you that isn't your money and then pay to the driver, we might be able to allow you to evade some of these crazy things like app money that isn't yours technically. It is the driver's. If you can send that straight to us rather than to your normal banking and then pay it straight back out.
Bypassed us as an agency, hasn't it?
Exactly. And there's something that we've been working really, really hard on. We've got 3 months to complete this now. We think we're going to be done by the end of August. We will be able to offer every single one of our customers their own bank account in their own name. And you can get all your judo money paid straight in and straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy, we've got some people on the call and no doubt some people who'll be watching the recording of this meeting that are on iCabby. Can you just do a quick summary of what you guys offer to iCabby? Because obviously you don't integrate with iCabby, so there's always a little bit of confusion. What can LYNK Pay do for us as iCabby users?
So as iCabby users, we can offer all of the dispersal that I showed you. Pay out to bank, pay out to app, but the drivers would have to download the relevant version of the app from the iOS or the Android store. We can offer the pay in through the SMS and the pay out. Everything else is not available because iCabby will not give us access to their systems and APIs like AutoCab have done. They've decided, I had a very long conversation with Niall Prenti and Richard. They've decided that they're not going to let any third-party payment providers integrate into their system any further. To the point whereby I've heard this, and this is on a video call, and I will say it, to the point whereby I've also heard that they might be kicking out AirPay and the other one in favour of their own stuff. They're really going down that route to secure all payments for themselves. So yeah, I'm not going to spend any time asking them to do stuff so they can copy it. That's just unfortunately how it is, because that's the nature of the beast, you know. So yeah, we can do all the dispersal stuff for you, which does speed things up. You know, it does make it a lot better, but you don't get all of this extra payments, and daily payments are impossible to do on iCabby because iCabby has no concept of current, previous and outstanding balances. It only just has one balance. I've spent 6 years pulling these dispatch systems to pieces to work out to bring this product to people. I'm not saying there's nobody knows more than me, but you'd be hard pressed to find anybody that knows as much about all the different systems about the accounts at the minute. And I'd love to work further with iCabby, but they're not interested. So I've just decided that's fine then. I'll move into other pastures. I'll water the grass where I can stand on it rather than do it the other way. It's a bit funny. It's a lot political, but yeah, that's where we are with that, David.
Yeah, well, I think like most people, they recognise with more and more becoming a cashless society, and these charges all add up, don't they? And and as they move to like cloud-based systems rather than selling hardware, they're just looking for the extra revenue, aren't they? And obviously, they own XYZ or whatever it's called, Javelin, as it's called now. But yeah, we were obviously over in Ireland, Bobby, myself, and Gary last week, and yeah, they are looking to develop their own version of AirPay. I see Craig Pollock now isn't really working on that anyway, because I know he's up in Darlington found it very difficult to get any help with it or development, or so. In the end, they chose not to go down that line.
Yeah, we all hear the same rumours, and when they come from somebody really high up, they're not really a rumour, are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, message received.
You know, so yeah, so that's sort of where we are with this. I'm the main person that would install this and work with you guys to get on board with things. If you're considering moving across to AutoCab from iCabby, if you're a fleet that are on iCabby, you've got Bobby, you've got Justin, absolutely brilliant guys within your group that will help you along and do things like that. I know they're always busy. Justin's pretty much a LYNK PAY install engineer, to be honest with you. I just get told that there's another company on. I don't really have to do anything a lot of the time with your guys. So if you are considering doing it, obviously I'm here as well. Justin will always be as helpful as he can be, and I know Bobby's always busy and helpful as well. So I'm not here to tell you to move away from iCabby. I'm here to tell you that our stuff will help you if you do. I have no preference between the dispatch systems, and that's the God's honest truth. I don't get involved in the politics. I'm just honest about, where we are as a business. So yeah, I can help you if you're on iCabby with the dispersal. I know that Westside was on it for a long time with no issues. Yeah, it works with both, but you just don't get everything on iCabby, which is a shame because I'd love it to do it, but it ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Sorry, David.
Yeah, no, go free. This is exactly for this.
The dollar thing. If, for example, you book it in and it doesn't send the link because of whatever reason, if you went into that booking, press edit, and then save again, would it then send that link again or attempt to? It would.
Yeah.
So if somebody's paid the journey and then 2 days later they phone up and say, actually, I need it for this time, and we edit the job, it will send another link.
No, if it's already paid, it just ignores it. Once it's paid,
cool.
It won't do it again. Yeah,
that's fine.
There is always the option as well to go back into here. And if you see this one that's requested here, because no one's looked at it yet, you can actually, I can't do it, but on your side, there's an option just to resend the request.
Right, okay, cool.
There's another cool little piece of kit in here that I didn't show you. Justin, shout me a booking ID out from something on your system that's not been done this way.
Yeah, bear with me 1 second. 580967.
So you've got from that retail park at Loughborough as directed on that number at £5.30. I can now send a request. I can even adjust that price to send it as well.
Yeah, that was a bad one to pick with as directed, but
yeah, it's fine though. But you get the point. You can actually go in here and just go, if you can actually just set up just this part of our portal for certain staff in the office, so they can go in and check as well. So you've got a really good dispatcher that knows what they're doing. You can just set part of this up with the settings, and they can have they can utilize this. You can set it up so that they can do all this, but not send the refunds, and you would just rely on the accounts team to do that. the settings in this thing, it's so bespoke. It's naughty, really. There's a lot of stuff that we can do on setting up that allows certain people to do things. So yeah, we can resend requests. We can send new ones without even doing it. If they do pay that, it will then change it to an account booking in Ghost as well for you.
Yeah, we've got a user set up just for staff, so they can come in, they can see if a customer has viewed it, they can resend a request, or they can put the booking ID and send a request. They cannot do anything other than look at that screen, send a request, or
that's what we did with
view what
Justin.
it is.
Yeah, so that's what we did. It allows you to do the pre-paid tab. It allows you to send a request and resend it, and that's literally it.
Yep.
View the transactions and transaction details.
Yeah,
And just
they
set a
needed
user
that
up.
to
Yeah,
to be able to resend the request for some reason. It was a bit weird.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
you know,
that is all they can do. They can't issue a refund, anything. They can just look at it or resend the request.
what's your system
Um,
ID, Justin?
105089.
Staff.
I think it's staff and staff one with a capital S, I think is the password. Yeah.
That's literally all they can see.
Yeah.
No view, and no option to refund, but the option to resend the message and do that sort of stuff. So it's really bespoke, good piece of kit.
So
Yeah.
one of the issues we have with Judo's F10 is quite often it takes the payment but doesn't update the booking. They know about this, they've known about this for months. They are looking into it, trying to fix it all the time, but we still get it. And that takes my time of, I get a message on Slack, can we check if this booking was paid? Because customer says they paid it. I go in, Judo, yes, I can see the payment from this card ending. I then have to manually update the journey. With this, I have not had a single issue in the almost month that it's been running with anything not linking, not doing what it should at all.
There is a reason why that's the case, and I'm not going to go into too much detail to give away trade secrets, but my partner Martin, who owns a quarter of the business, he was a lead DevOps at AutoCAD, an architecture engineer, and we know how to make AutoCAD work. And that's another reason, you know, why our stuff's so good. There's other people, external third-party companies that got no idea what AutoCAD can and can't do. And AutoCAD don't want to tell them that, but thankfully we've already got the inside knowledge and we know how to do it. So if something does fail, we know how to go back in afterwards and track it again and do it. And there's a lot of stuff in the background of this that people, that other third-party companies, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us, they've not got a clue how we do this stuff. So yeah, we are quite careful in what we tell people how it does it, but this just works. I've never seen it not work. So yeah, good piece of kit. Last month, we moved £5.3 million for our customers in 1 month. So we were entrusted as you know, with £5.3 million for a little company that only has 4 employees. That's a lot, you know, and I've never lost a penny. So it works. It's really good at what it does, because with the likes of Justin and other people and Bobby as well, if it doesn't work or it didn't work when we first built it, I've got a good relationship with people that I've known for a long time, and everyone in the Take Me group has been extremely helpful and really good at pushing this, especially David. You know, he knows that this helps you guys to get on with your day. So yeah, that's sort of where I am. I mean, I'm done now. Unless anyone's got any other questions, I don't want to keep you any longer. It's Friday, isn't it?
So has anyone got any more questions before we wrap this up? No. Andy, it's always great. I always enjoy listening to your presentations, and especially from you, because obviously you are the guy, you live and breathe this every day. You're the architect of it. So No, it is a great product, and as you saw earlier, the savings you make on car payments as well. There will be people watching this that couldn't attend a late date. I'll send out the recording later.
I have got a Zoom call with Mike Tyres. He's got something to do with this LYNK Pay.
Call me instead. 077 155 27297.
That's okay.
Mike's a good guy, but Mike's a lovely guy. Mike's our sales guy. Basically, he'll get in touch with you, and then you'll just end up talking to me anyway.
Yeah.
Andy, he's going. So Andy Roberts, so Wrexham is going onto the same system as Intercity and Westside. So Mike's
Okay.
really not needed on it.
Ah, right. Okay, so that's that one, is it? Right. Okay. Yeah, we'll get that sorted. Just if you, do you know, write my number down now. I said it a bit fast then. 077.
Give me a second.
I'll text it him, and I'll text it.
Are you gonna text him, Rob? Right. Brilliant.
Nice one.
I'll
Cheers.
text you.
Cheers,
Yeah, just ring me direct. My phone is always on. If I don't answer, I'm on the phone, and I will ring you back. And I never don't ring people back.
If you don't mind, Andy, I'm going to put together a LYNK Pay group with all the site managers on.
Yeah.
And a copy of this video. So if they've got any questions, they can go, they can text in that group. And
yeah, brilliant.
Go for it. Now, Matt sends his apologies down at Taunton. Lee is on the line from Taunton, who's works with Matt, in charge of dispatch. I know they've been looking at it. They recently moved across to AutoCab, and yeah, we'll catch up with them later. Also, A to B and Truro have just moved over. I know they were looking at different payment solutions, but we'll be pushing hard on this as well.
Yeah, they've done some prepaid this week, and they moved 500 quid, and it's cost them 30 pence.
Yeah.
That's why I like using Live. In fact, this month they're up 62 pence. They're in positive. They moved 3.5 grand, and they're 62 pence up.
Mm-hmm.
This is a no-brainer. This stuff, this prepaid stuff. If you're using Judo, because you've got Munchausen syndrome by proxy or whatever they call it, Stockholm syndrome. That's the one, isn't it? Get away from it and use this because it works and it's technically free. You're already paying for our system anyway. Okay, guys.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much. I've got to move on to an 11 o'clock meeting.
Me too.
And Gary are on a post-tag meeting. So,
I'd like to be on that as well. Is Darren Ward going to be in there?
I don't. He might be, but I think it's Kenny and somebody else on who've put the meeting.
If he is, just tell him hi.
Yeah, we'll do. We've saw him over the last few days at the taxi summit. He was there, wasn't he? But yeah. Okay.
Right, guys. Okay. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks. Bye. Bye.